Hello everyone, Amod here from the Target Common YouTube channel, and in this video tutorial we are going to learn capture screenshots in Selenium WebDriver with Java. So capturing screenshot is very common in UI testing. Does not matter whether you are performing it manually or through any automation scripts. We need to capture screenshots whenever a test fails or you want a proof of something working fine. So let's get started. So here I have a class capture screenshot and I'm going to launch Chrome browser. For that I'm going to create an object of Chrome driver class. Selenium WebDriver provides an interface called text screenshot. This interface has a method getScreenshotEdge and that method is responsible to capture a screenshot. Since we are creating an object of Chrome driver class and storing into the same reference, so automatically method from this text screenshot interface will be available to use. But if you create an object to Chrome driver class and upcast it to WebDriver, same thing for other browser driver classes as well, then we need to downcast to use text screenshot interface method. What is upcasting, downcasting, and when to use that I have already covered in my previous video. So if I do Chrome driver dot get screenshot edge, I am able to access this method. Now you can see this method is accepting an argument of type output type, and if you do dot, it has three formats: file, base64 and byte. So let's see what is output type first. So output type is an interface which allows you to capture a screenshot in three major formats, which are base64, bytes and file. So byte format stores raw binary data and it is memory and processing efficient, while base64 is an encoding scheme that converts binary data to a text using 64 different characters. And these formats are used in reading writing files, networking, image processing, API payloads, or authentication. Here I have one image bird.jpg. This image I can convert to base64 format. Let me do that. So go to Google, type base64 encoder online and you can go to any link. So I'm going to second link here, base64 encode online tool. So here we have option like base64 encode and base64 decode. So first I'm going to do encoding. Since I need to convert an image to base64, so I have one direct link, image to base64. Click on it, then let's select the image which is in my downloads folder. So select the image, you can see it has uploaded the image, and here we have the metadata, and here below we have the base64 format of this uploaded image. Now I'm going to copy this base64 data, and this time I'm going to select base64 decode. Just I want to show the reverse process now, and again I will go to base64 to image. Let's paste the copied base64 data and click on decode image. If you come down, you can see the metadata of file. You can see below we have the image decoded from base64. Same thing we are going to do in Selenium WebDriver also. First we are going to try with base64, and you can see the return type of this base64 will be a string. You can simply click on this red bulb and click introduce local variable. So you can see this output is stored in a variable of type string. So this is the first step where the image or screenshot has been converted to base64. After launching the browser, I need to launch some URL. So I am going to load Google. But this format will not be useful for us. We need to decode this file to get the original file. So to decode, you don't need to use any online tool. We have Java utilities to do that. We have a class base64 which is coming from java.util package, and here we have a method getDecoder, and here we have method decode, and this decode method takes the string format. So I'm going to pass this base64 string here, and after decoding it will return me a byte array. So let me introduce a local variable and store into a variable decode of type byte array. Now I will convert this byte array to file. So we have one class called files which is coming from java.neo package, and here we have a method called write, which is actually overloaded method you can see it is taking the first argument of type path, and then it is taking byte array. So first argument is basically in which location and name you want to save the file, path.get, and here we need to pass the location with the name. Let me import this path from java.neo package. So I want to capture all the screenshot within my project folder, and here I have one directory created screenshots. So let me copy the path and pass here, and output file name I want as chrome1.png, or any format you can give, any image format. And second argument we need to pass the byte array, which is decode, and probably it is asking us to handle some exception, so I'm going to add that exception to method signature. Let me quickly run this program. Okay, so Google has been loaded. Let me go to project directory, expand the screenshot directory, and here you can see chrome1.png. This is the same name which I have given here. Let me double click on this, and you can see it has captured the screenshot. Now let's try another format. Instead of base64, this time I am going to use byte. When we capture the screenshot in bytes, so it is going to return into a byte array itself. So instead of string, I am going to use byte. If you see carefully here, this format is giving the output one step ahead. In the base64, we are explicitly decoding that to get into byte array. But when you are using byte type, it is automatically giving us into byte array. So there is no need to decode, just we need to convert the byte array to file. I will just need files.write, and this time I am going to use chrome2.png, and instead of decode I need to pass this variable. Let me quickly run the program now. So Google is loaded. Let me go to project, and here we have chrome2.png. If you double click, we can see the capture screenshot. So now we have one more format left, which is file, and this format is used most of the time. Chrome driver dot get screenshot as, and here we have output type dot file. Now this time I will directly get the file itself. If I click on this yellow button and select introduce local variable, you can see it has given me a file directly. When this method captures the screenshot as a file, that file will be kept into temporary folder, and that file will be deleted as soon as your program is exited. So this interface output type is present into org.openqa.selenium. So I'm going to official Selenium API doc, and I'm going to first package. Click on interfaces, and here you should see the output type interface. Click on it, and if you come down, you can see base64 bytes and file. So this base64 capture the screenshot as base64 data. Bytes capture the screenshot as raw bytes, but for the file, it obtains the screenshot into a temporary file that will be deleted once JVM exits. Let me show you the demo. I am going to add one sys out here, which will print the absolute path of this file. So SOUT, and then screenshot as dot get absolute path, and I am going to put a debugger point at line number 31. Let me run this program in debug mode. Control is at line number 31. Let me do step over. So it has captured the screenshot. Let me do step over again, and in the console we see this path. This is actually a temp folder which is present in your username, then app data, local, then temp. Let me go to this temp folder and see whether this particular file is present or not. Press Windows R, then type %temp hit enter. Here on the top we can see one screenshot file which is of type PNG. This is the same name which is printed here also. If I double click on this file, you can see it has captured the Google homepage. Let me do step over so that program will be terminated. Now if I go to temp folder and refresh it, I don't see that screenshot file anymore because that file has been deleted as soon as program exits or terminated. That is the reason we need to copy the file from temp folder to another folder where we can see them later. So we have multiple ways to copy a file from one location to another location. We can use Apache common library, or Selenium provides one class called file handler which does the same job. So let me use file handler. You can see it is coming from openqa.selenium.io package, and we have a method copy. So first argument is which file I want to copy, and second argument is where I want to copy that file. So I am going to copy screenshot as, and now I need to pass the new location. So I can use new file and I'm going to copy this address. Let me paste it here and I will change the name from Chrome 2 to Chrome3.png. Let me run the program in normal mode. And if I go to my project folder, here we can see Chrome3.png, and if you double click on it, you should see the Google homepage. You might be wondering, we have total 3 formats, which format we should use. If you are attaching screenshots in a HTML report, then I will suggest you to use BASE64 or byte format because these two formats are memory efficient. Let me cover one small topic. When I created Chrome driver object, I stored into the same type, but generally we upcast it. Instead of Chrome driver, we use WebDriver. So I'm going to comment this line and let me create a new object of Chrome driver. This time I'm going to store into WebDriver type. This is upcasting. So when we upcast, it will lose the visibility of get screenshot as method. This concept I have already explained in my previous video. So to access this method now, I need to downcast this object. So we can downcast to remote WebDriver class, or we can directly downcast to a specific interface here. So use Chrome driver and let's downcast to a specific interface which is takes a screenshot, and this time I will have an object of takes a screenshot type. Now instead of Chrome driver, I need to use Chrome driver 1. Now you can see there is no red mark because after downcasting we have the visibility of this method. Let me change the name from Chrome 3 to Chrome 4 and run the program. So execution is over, and if you go to project folder, here I have chrome4.png, and if you double click on it, you can see the Google homepage. So that's all in this video. If you have any doubt, please comment on this video. If you really like my videos, please like, comment, subscribe and share with others. Thank you everyone.